This daf Yom Yerushalmi Shevi'is daf Lamed Ches Amud Aleph, and the article is for edition right at the top of the page by Chizkiah, which is on Yud Dalet Amud Aleph in the Vilna. Where Yud Dalet Amud Aleph? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, about 11 lines down. Okay, and kind of a couple gear set changes here. But in any event, we're trying to, there's another way of explaining our Mishnah, so that how could it be that loof, part of it, part of the leaves belong to Aniyim, and part of the leaves belong to the Baal, belong to the Baal Butts. So Chizkiah put the Masis in Erev Rosh Hashanah. He explained that it's Erev Rosh Hashanah, and not the how so. Not the Erev Rosh Hashanah, Shishis, right? He planted Erev Rosh Hashanah. In the Gemara it says Shevi'is, but it's really the same. And changed it to Shishis, but it's really the same thing. It means Erev Rosh Hashanah before Shemitah begins. Okay, so that he planted and the Kabanaki says it's actually was significant time before Erev Rosh Hashanah Shevi'is, and not Erev Rosh Hashanah Shevi'is. He planted Erev Rosh Hashanah of Shevi'is, v'asa beitza, and it made initial growth. We had yesterday the word beitza in this connotation. It says B'tchilas Shevi'is here. The Kabanaki changed it to Erev Shevi'is. The Gra changed it to B'shishis. Same idea. Okay, so it started producing leaves before Shemitah. V'richno, and then you bent it down to the ground like we had yesterday. And here it says B'shvi'is, and the Gra changes it to B'shishis, and it's the same idea. When it says B'shvi, main thing is not the Yerushalmi Gemara. First Gemara is B'shvi'is, and she should be either Erev Shevi'is or Shishis. Okay, so then so you rikno at that Erev Shevi'is, but akro so Shevi'is, and then you move it from the ground permanently at the end of Shevi'is. In tema rikon kikor. If you're going to say rikon is like ikor, so then it was collected. No, Erev Shevi'is. Akro so Shevi'is. No, 1 second here. Yeah, that was right. In tema rikon kikor kulabal bait, because it was already harvested. Erev Shevi'is, because rikon is like ikor. In tema and rikon kikor, if you're going to say rikon is the bending over is not like ikor, so then the main ikor was during Shemitah, right? It was during Shevi'is. And kulabal bais, then it doesn't belong to the Baal Bais, and the truth is that it doesn't belong completely to the Anim, because the ikor happened during Shemitah. Rikon happened Erev Shevi'is. Rikon happened during Shevi'is. So again, since it's a suffix, misafik asa cheshbon Anim. It's a moment amuta b'suffix. We say yesterday is like the similar symbols moment amuta b'suffix chokin. So you should have to make a cheshbon. This is a change in the girsa from the Gemara. The Gemara says vir ein lani mimo cheshbon. Actually, there's a lot of changes in the Gemara. Because the Gemara says, "Intem rikon kikor kulu ba'al bais." Yes, intem rikon kikor ein kulu ba'al bais, but rather taniyim it should be. And lefira ein aniyim cheshbon. Therefore, the aniyim would not have a cheshbon. But then you either have to replace that or add after that misafik gas cheshbon aniyim. Okay, so since it's a suffix, they have to make a cheshbon aniyim. Very similar to what we said yesterday, except they were talking about the end of Shemitah, they were talking about after Shemitah, and they were talking about the end of Shemitah and after Shemitah, they were talking about before Shemitah and during Shemitah. Um, uh, the Gemara goes on, and the Kavanaki adds a few words here. Tanya, we went to a brisa, which is this is not in the Gemara itself. Luf shavar of Shevi'is. If you have a luf over which Shevi'is passed, Rabbi Lezer im asab aretz shalosh shanim. In other words, it was in the ground Shevi'is, and then it was let's say it's the ground 3 years, either before Shevi'is or after Shevi'is. We're going to see. Lezer im asab aretz shalosh shanim. No sein aliyim rova. You give aliyim a quarter because it was 4 in Shevi'it on the ground, 3 more years in the ground. So then, it's all together, the aliyim should get a quarter. Shtei shanim. It was 2 years in the ground after Shemitah. Then no saying on the Yom Shlish, you give them a third. Shana Achas, it was 1 year in the ground before or after Shemitah. No saying the Yom Mechza, you give them a Yom half. Rabbi Yossi Pater Masnisa. Rabbi Yossi explained the brisa. I'm not sure. Actually, he's going to the Mishnah, I think. Shanat Lifnei Rosh Hashanah. No, it's going to this brisa. That's part of Masisa Shanat Lifnei Rosh Hashanah Shevi'is. You plan before Rosh Hashanah Shevi'is, a lot before Rosh Hashanah Shevi'is, 2 or 3 years beforehand. Because you part of Masisa Shanat Erev Rosh Hashanah Shevi'is. 1 second. Yeah, so I see I was just reading the Kavanaki. I see in my Gemara, I went with the Girsa of the Nir, which Levi Yerushalmi brings out here. And the way it is like this. Rabbi Yossi Pater Masnisa, not instead of Lifnei, it's Achar Rosh Hashanah Shevi'is. Rabbi Chizkiah Pater Masnisa, Erev Rosh Hashanah Shevi'is. In other words, again, if after Rosh Hashanah Shevi'is means Shevi'is is the first year, and then you had 1, 2, or 3 years afterwards. The Erev Rosh Hashanah Shevi'is, which again we said is not Mamash Erev Rosh Hashanah Shevi'is, but it's earlier, means that the 1, 2, 3 years are before Shemitah and then Shemitah itself. So that's either way the brisa works. I'm not sure it's a machlekes. The brisa can work in either direction. That would be the case. That aniyim would get that proportion of the luf, and they would have to be compensated for that. Okay, Rabbi Bumbarchia Bayakum Rabbi. Well, now it says here, luf shel Erev Shevi'is. Sorry, something went wrong there, a glitch. So I have here, I can't read my own handwriting here, that somebody, I think it's both the Kavanaki and Levi Yerushalmi, take out Lushel Erev Shevi'is Chule. So take that out. And then, is it actually in the art scroll? Yeah, it's an article, it's a header. Okay, but anyway, be that as it may. Reibun Barchia by Rabbi Zero. Well, an article puts a header, I mean, putting an the header is if you take it out, because it says Luv Sheis V'chule. So it's as if you taking it out, it's as if you're removing it, because in Vilna it was just part of the flow, and here you're putting like a header, so that's an alternative to move it all together is to make it a header. So Reibun Barchia Ba. Now, the ba in Yerushalmi sometimes usually means asking a question, but sometimes it's a statement. And here's a statement. He suggested the following Kumi Rabbi Zira. He suggested the following statement for Rabbi Zira. At b'shtar shnei shavua kain. That would just say that Rikun is like Ikur in order to determine the year of Shevi'is, whether Shevi'is or not. Also, that should be the case by determining the year of Maasros, right? For Tanya, we have a brisa like this. It's a mini chusan. What if it is the second year of Maaser going into the third year of Maaser? Now, the second year of Maaser we know is Maaser Sheni. The third year of Maaser is Maaser Ani. So it was going in the second year, either the Luf or the B'tzolim, which we talked about till now. They're growing in the second year, and they're not yet complete. But he wants to bend them over in order to make them part of the Maaser of the second year, or Or alternatively, he wants to curtail their water for 30 days for Rosh Hashanah, and therefore it's also considered to be the second year. So Rosh Hashanah next says, "Einam raktov, einam monoim." He can't do either of these things. Shelo yeh ma'aser sheni. In other words, we don't want it to be ma'aser sheni. We want it to be ma'aser ani. So that's the Yersa actually in the Kavanaki, the Shoshleya Meiser Shani, for the way it is in the Gemara, it's We're the same thing. But it's according to the Gemara. I don't know why you changed it from the Gemara. The Gemara is very simple. You want to make a Meiser Shani to avoid giving to Aniyim. You're not allowed to do that. And that's the Gersa of the Gemara itself. In the Gersa in the Kavanaki, we don't let you do it because we don't want it to be Meiser Sheni. Okay, Haisa Shlishi, so in the class of Shevi'is, but it's the third, you're going to the fourth here. Oh, so then, on the contrary, we want you to Moroccan it because we want it to be belong to Aniyim. We don't want it to be Meiser Sheni in that case. In that case, we encourage you. So, Morocco, Monem, Menamayim, Bishul Shia, Meiser Ani. In order that it should be Meiser Ani. It's Hata Amra. This teaches us Rikun ki Ikor, that Rikun is like Ikor. If Rikun can, evidently this price also Rikun can determine, like Rabbi Bun Bar Chia suggested, the year Meiser, and we make you do Merakin for the advantage of the Anim, right? And that is to say, so the Moshe Rikun Ikor Ula Anim. I want you to do it. We encourage you to do it in order that the Anim get this grain. Okay, says the Gemara. Now, this is a interesting question here. What this is going on here? You could say that it's going on the previous Gemara, and it's a continuation, but it doesn't seem to be the case. It's going on the next part of the Mishnah. We had we had v'chein pur shel idis shamarim okasam ma'arov shel eitz. How you do it? Either with wood shovels, with metal shovels, and that I'm reading from the Mishnah. So we said that if it's growing in stones, in a stony area, you can use the metal shovels. So on this, Rabbi Yasib said, b'shem Rabbi Law, tipater she'akru achelot samchu gidulav. You have to uproot them. You can uproot them during Shemitah, but before it grows anything, right? Because they are, anything that grows is those leaves are going to be kaddish b'kedusha Shevi'is. Now, that what's the problem? So it's okay, b'kedusha Shevi'is, but the problem is if you uproot them early, so then you're being mafsi perish Shevi'is. So Rashi explains, mafsi perish Shevi'is is usher. You have to let them grow to maturity, right? So we've had that before with boser, etc. So but if you do it before any growth grows, so then, in other words, no new leaves, that's okay, right? Because then there's nothing. You're not. If the leaves had started growing and then you uprooted it, so you're being mafsi perishus, but they didn't start growing yet, you're okay. It says Gemara, it says v'chein b'tzolim ha-kitzonim. Gemara says kitinoi. They are kitinoi. That would mean small ones, but everybody learns it that it means that it's the language of kaita, of summer. So these are summer onions. Okay. Then modim bepur shotzlos. They can see by pur shotzlos. What's pur shotzlos? It's pitra. Pitrus is Greek for stone. So this is the famous town of the red stone in Jordan. It's called Petra. So And I guess they called also what grew in that area Petra. I don't know. They would put, either it's the Gemara is saying that Sloas means Petra, or that the pool which grew in the Sloas is called Petra. It seems that the Maraf learns one way, Moshe another way. Either way works. So B'Tanya we learned concerning this Makom Shenogu Lachrosh Yachrosh Nakesh. So you can this obviously it's still talking about uprooting because we're during Shemitah. We're obviously not doing Avodas Karka. So the play in this Petra Pua, say if the minute is to use a plow to uproot it, you can use a plow to uproot it. And the minute is the nakish, which means do it kedarko, by hand, plucking out of the ground. Since this place is not royal Zvia, and there's no avodas karka in this area, so it's clear that is you're uprooting it for the purpose of just taking it and using it. You're not working the ground. So even though you're not allowed to plow ground, you're not allowed to, here it doesn't look like plowing because everybody sees you don't plow stony area, it just breaks your plow. Unless you're specifically using it to take out the poor shall slows from the ground. Similar thing in the Lenakish, nobody's going to think that you're weeding because you don't cultivate this ground. So obviously everybody sees, so you're just in order to pluck it out. So therefore, in a place where the minute is, it's interesting because it goes further in Mishnah, right? Mishnah just said, okay, we're going to go to Shom. So we're saying, once you, I guess that's carte blanche. Once you let you do B'Kadam Shom, you also do it with Machresha and do it with Nikush, everything according to the Minhag HaMakom. Okay, we will stop here for today.